I'm here with.
Nick, I went 4-1 today at our locals with ABCs. Just a fun deck. All right, let me get that out of the way. We'll get to that later. All right, so bread and butter. We got 3B, 2C, and A. 3, 2, 1. It's the right ratio right now because you don't want too many C's because you don't have as many unions that you want to get on the field as much. And obviously, my boy got hit to 1, so you need this to search all the other cards. I mean, to be fair, I did play the FTK. The day after we got the new ban list, we had an OTS tournament, and I played the FTK just to protest, like, oh, it's not that good. And I came in 4th place at an OTS tournament. And
Not the OTS, it was a VIP event.
Oh, yeah, it was the VIP for the next. Yeah. So I did FTK like 5 people. So maybe it was, but like, still, A was innocent with ABCs.
You disgust me.
So those are the important pieces. And then spicy union monsters that I highly recommend is heavy mech support armor and torque tune gear. So heavy mech you don't want to start off with, but you can search with B. That way your follow-up turns you can do something consistently, like make a nightmare, make a Cleafor Genius if you didn't get to do it before. And he just helps get stuff going, and he gives you a good target for A to keep returning to your hand and kind of like loop to just continuously make easy link material and resources. Another fun thing with him is that you can normal him, summon a guy, and if you leave him on the field and make Buster Dragon, you can equip him to Buster Dragon, and Buster Dragon will then not be able to be targeted by a card. And so it doesn't come up very often, but like it's an okay thing just to be aware of. And then Torque Tune Gear, whatever he's equipped to becomes a tuner. And so I use him with the gadgets so that while Union Handler's on the field, I can use one of these, summon a piece, equip Torque Tune from the deck, and make Omega. It's not the best interaction. It's a very out there thing. It's never a good first turn play, but it's good if somehow your A gets banished by something you can't get it back. I don't like Union Scramble. It just like it doesn't do as much as I like, and a lot of the time I'm just gonna be stuck with it.
Why not 3 full scramble goes in Union Scramble?
It's just whatever. Like I don't want to draw the 1 Union Scramble at that point and then have 3 dead Foolish Burial Goods, and it just, I don't know, overall I think just playing the space of 1 card that does all of that Union Scramble does for the deck is a lot better than going out of my way to play all those. So I like this one, and also if you have Union Handler on the field and only a bunch of Unions in your hand, that's usually the brick for this deck. So you search this, you can normal summon it, equip C, and then you can link it for Link Repo. And if you do that, then you can keep the chain going up in link climbing, because then you seize effect summon more from your hand. And so it makes it so that normally when you get a bunch of unions, it's a brick hand. It makes it so you can still do something going first. So I highly recommend Torque Tuning Gear. A lot of people don't like it. I'm going to play these guys as much as my one-ofs. Lazuli is only because I forgot to bring a Garnet, and so I just needed a Geminite to throw in there. But we do play the Brilliant Engine in here. It helps so much. Just get pieces in the graveyard. Like if you need just your 1A in the graveyard, it gets it down there really easy.
Like half the reason you can combo off for going first turn.
Yes, it helps going first so much, and just does everything you would need it to do. And it makes those hands where you get all the unions, like I was saying, so much better because you just get a bunch out there and you just keep linking up. So, and then my hand traps. This is all I'm playing for hand traps. I'm trying to go first, so I don't need too much. And like just to help the FTK and Ash, it's just Ash. So
Did you face the FTK at all today?
I did not face it at all today, but I have before, and all you gotta do is a well-timed roll, and you're good. As long as I don't Azathoth you, which, fuck that card. For spells, that was all my monsters. Obviously, we need 3 Union Handler, the 2 Terraforming. One of the best cards in the deck. It just gets everything going. So pretty self-explanatory for ABC players. And then obviously,
Best card in the deck?
no. I love this card in the deck, but the best card is the next card. So Brilliant Fusion gets so much going for this deck though, and it's very close to the best card in the deck. I love this card in this deck. It does brick sometimes, and a lot of times today I drew that 1 Lazuli, and I don't know why, but I kept drawing it. But still, a mad, good card in the deck.
Same thing after the Garnet.
Yeah, it's insane. They just know. They can sense it. And then I was borrowing 1 Engage today, but you run 3 Engage and the 1 Drone. You can run the card that makes you unaffected by other things as another search target for these.
Elo Booster?
That's the one. Thank you very much. You can run like a bunch of other cards just as like another search for Engage so you don't draw dead Engages. But for the most part, you're going to have another card in your main monster zone when you finish your combo. And so if you go first, like this deck is trying to do, that card's going to be a dead card. And you can use it on like your summon sorceress or something. But overall, I just thought it wasn't worth it in the long run because I'd either go first, do this, or bust for the most part. And so I just figured 3 engage, 1 of this. I just wanted to get to this as fast as possible. This is the best card in the deck. Like this card in ABCs does so much. So there's a really good combo. All you need is like Union Hainer, any Union in your hand, and a drone, and you can just do so much. Like that's the shit. 2 of these. I have a lot of 1-ofs and bricks in this deck, or garnets in this deck, but you have a lot of thinning and searching with this deck, so you just do all that first, and then you activate this, and whatever's left, you're stuck with.
Did you ever desire to finish A? 'Cause you couldn't
No,
search
I did
first?
not. I would never do this if A was still in the deck. I always would wait.
What if you have literally nothing else and everyone's going to educate next turn?
I mean, then sure, but I haven't had that situation happen to me where I haven't had anything else to do. I've usually had at least like a Union Hainer or a Brilliant Fusion, just some way to get A out of dodge before I do this. And like sometimes you'll banish your drone or whatever, but as long as you have A clear, so you can make Buster Dragon the best card in the deck, obviously you're fine. 2 Call by the Graves, you need these. You're a combo deck. You want to be able to make sure your shit goes off. 1 upstart, this deck can brick pretty hard, so you would need the consistency of Monster Reborn. Just the last of my spell cards. It's Monster Reborn. Like you can
Reborn
run...
Buster?
What?
Reborn Buster?
Oh yeah, it's a good feeling when you do that. Or even Seraphinite. I like reviving Seraphinite and then get another normal summon. It's a weird, but it works. And then I main 3 Solemn Strikes. I want to go first so I can interrupt their plays with Firewall or Buster Dragon and then keep going. And so this right now is what I think the best trap card is. You can run Judgment, you can run Warning, but I think Strike just does what those do better right now. Like obviously Judgment can negate anything, but a lot of this game right now is just monsters, and so I like Strike just to get those monsters out of there. So that was my main deck, 40 cards, and now I'm gonna do my extra deck. So just get my side out of there. Run the Link Karibo for the Torque Tune Gear. Very important, just because of that card. If you don't run Torque Tune Gear, you don't need this, so whatever. The Nightmare Mermaid for the Ibly, just to do the combo and everything. It's not as good as it was while A and Goblin were legal, but you can still do it every now and then and get like a pretty good board with a Firewall and a Griffin or something to block something. And it came in handy today when I fought Cyber Dragons. No, it wasn't. I think it was when I fought you that I gave you the Ibly. Yeah, I gave you the Ibly and couldn't do much.
Actually, no, I don't think that was me.
It was someone today. I have a terrible.
I think you gave me the Ibly and I just normal summoned and linked it away.
No, I bounced the Seaback.
Yeah, you bounced Seaback.
And then I just left Ibly, yeah. These are the only Sky Strikers I play. You can play Shizuku, and if you play Shizuku, you can do a 1-card Cleafor Genius with just the Hornet Drone, and that's very good, but you don't need it overall. It's not like you need Shizuku's effect at all because you play the only 2 cards. So what you do is just make Kagari, you add the drone back, activate drone again, and you can make Hayate right away if you do wish. I don't recommend it. And then you just link up with Kagari and everything, and then later in the combo, you make Hayate underneath like Summon Sorceress, or you use Hayate and Cleafor Genius to make Summon Sorceress, and so you just want to use them sparingly when you get it, and Hayate is decent when you're in time too, obviously, because you just attack directly, get that game. Cleafor Genius, the best Link 2 in the deck. It's the one you're going to go into the most, and I've considered running 2. But if I do have to run another Link 2 that's like generic winding down, I would do Underclock or Land Felinkus. I was very stupid and forgot to put a generic Link 2 that wasn't like the Nightmares, and so whenever I do Brilliant Fusion first to start my combo, I usually get stuck with one of these in my extra monster zone because I have to link a piece and Seraphinite or something to make sure I can start clearing shit out, and then I make Unicorn or something after that, or I make Mermaid. So I would highly recommend cut something you don't like in here and play a Land Felinkus or an Underclock Taker. That was my bad. I just kind of overlooked that. But, you know, that's what locals are for. You practice. Summon Sorceress. This is incredible in this deck. In my side deck, you'll see later, I do play Cyber Dragon. And so you can make Summon Sorceress, and you can obviously search any piece you need, whatever machine you want just to keep Link comboing. Or, if you're going second, you can summon a Cyber Dragon from the deck. Oh my god. And if your opponent still has a card in the extra monster zone, you just fusion with it. And so while it won't be able to do anything and its effects are negated, who cares? You got a fucking Chimera tech.
Yeah.
So that's one of my favorite things to do with that. Just tutor out a Cyber from the deck. And then obviously, yeah, it's Summon Sorceress. It's going to be really good. Unicorn, it's Unicorn. Firewall and Boral are my Link Force. I like Boral Load over Boral Sword because of how Thunder Dragons are in the game right now. This Thunder Dragons hurt this deck a lot, so I wouldn't recommend doing this at like a big tournament, honestly. It's a very fun deck, but it is fundamentally flawed with 1A, and it can brick really hard in a longer tournament. Firewall is the baby you're going to try to end on, just to get like at least one thing co-linked with it, like a Cerberus or a Phoenix, depending on what you're playing against, and like a Buster Dragon. Usually you're in a good spot, like maybe a Solemn Strike set or something. That's usually what you're going to end on. You can end on much bigger boards, but like realistically, if you're doing your combo with like a 2-card combo or something, that's what you're gonna get. And so it's still a good board, but it's not crazy, like especially in this format and meta. So it's not bad though. I played 2 Buster Dragons.
Only 2?
Only 2, because usually if you need the 3rd, you already lost. And because of all the shit extra stuff I run in here, it's a very tight extra deck. If I was going to remove something to make a 3rd one, I would probably remove Omega. He's cool with the Torque Tune Gear combo, but he was just kind of there. I did have a really cool interaction with him in my last match, though, I'll go into. Obviously, Seraphonite for Brilliant Fusion, and Omega for Torque Tune. What I did is I made Omega to out a Pinkertops before I made ABC Buster Dragon. And so he died, and I Buster Dragon, and then I tagged out. And my next turn, I used Omega's effect in the graveyard to return Buster Dragon to the deck. And so I was able to just cycle out the same Buster Dragon around. So if you do somehow run out, make Omega, put him back. So that's what I did for that, and it works. Omega's a really good card. It's mainly there for when A gets banished, from Call by the Grave or something, you just put him back in the graveyard because you need to be able to make Buster Dragon. Obviously, the best card in the deck and the namesake of the deck. So I like that a lot more than the other cards, or Burial from Different Dimension, or any of that. Like, they're not bad cards, but I just like the ease of Omega. My side deck, 15 cards, obviously. Twin Twister, Triple Red Reboot. Just to, like, you know, get rid of back row. Same with Evenly Matched. Just because this deck is so combo and fragile, you need to be able to, if you're going second, just to do what you want to do. So, enough said with that, really. I only played 2 cherries. It's mainly for the FTK hit Firewall, or I have the Kagari in here if I fight Sky Strikers and other things. We had the mirror match today for ABC Buster Dragon, and so I actually sided this in just to try to hit this, but we sadly didn't get to do that.
I didn't draw it either.
Yeah. But there's a lot of generic targets in here that you can just put in to hit. So, like, no matter what, a lot of decks you play against, these hits will do something against them. So, maybe 3. I just didn't want to play 3. I wanted to play other cards in my extra deck just to do it. It was a local. Triple Cyber Dragon. I love this card going second, because obviously I side this one, and usually I side out like the Ibli and the Mermaid because I'm going second. I don't exactly need them. And this is just amazing. Usually, I will, if I'm going second, I'll also, if I need extra space, I'll take out my gadgets, because the gadgets are fundamentally flawed where they can be negated by Effect Veiler and Permanence, which are everywhere in this format. And then you have to end your turn. Cyber Dragon is just the better version to get another machine and start your link combos climbing up. So they do basically the exact same thing, but if you do Cyber Dragon, you have to use your hand traps or something to make Omega, because the gadget combo will not work. So if you're going to play ABCs, you have to side deck this card. Or main deck it if you're going second, which is the thing. Like, you can do shit all ABCs and main deck this. Like, whatever you want, really. And the last card is Judgment. This was supposed to be in my main deck originally, and Ash Blossom was going to be my side deck, which is my 3rd Ash Blossom, because I didn't think I needed it. But last minute, I was like, you know what, I'm going to try the 6/6 hand trap, and I was just too lazy to switch it out. This one could be your cherries. This one could be whatever you want. You could do Triple Twin Twister, just whatever. But it is a really good trap card. No denying it. It's at 1, so why not side the 1 for something? Yeah, that's my deck. It's not good. It's not crazy good. It is what ABCs are gonna be doing though for a while, as long as we have 1A and whatnot. There's so many other variants you can do, demise ABCs and all that. But I have so much fun with the combo variants, and so I wanted to see what I could do with the combo variant, and it's been doing perfectly fine. if you do fight Thunder Dragons, it does suck because you do need to search a lot in this deck normally. But you can just make Buster Dragon and banish it if you possibly can. So it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's a lot of fun. I wouldn't recommend it for a big tournament, but highly recommend it as a fun deck that is still very good.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
you're very welcome.